Your number 2 corner in this tier of island corners was nicknamed Nate the Great by his coach, Dabo Swinney. Your number 2 corner is
Nate Wiggins, Clemson. Yeah, I mean, I like Nate. I really do. I mean, it's hard not to like him. First off, I mean, when you're just talking about Nate Wiggins and you talk about corner in general, I mean, speed and length, like we talked about at the start of the show, well, there's Nate Wiggins. He's kind of got both, right? And we like that because, yeah, he's the kind of guy that – you could say on the outside and go, well, I think he could run with Tyreek Hill if he runs go routes and does all of that. Right? I like that. Oh, it's a longer Justin Jefferson type of receiver. All right, well, he's got the length and the wingspan there too, where I know he can run with him, but he won't be out catch radius by Justin Jefferson and all of that. I mean, so that's where I really like Nate Wiggins. He's skinny, right? He's got a Tyson Campbell, Denzel Ward type of look to him, if that makes sense.
6'1", 173.
No doubt about that, right? It's skinny, and it's long, right? But it is fast. I mean, it's really fast. The kind of fast that I love where, I mean, he enjoys running people down, right? I mean, he enjoys going, oh, you think you're about to break loose or a 70-yard touchdown? I'm going to show you and tackle you at the 3 or 4 yard line. I mean, he's got that showmanship about him that you really, really like, right? I mean, like acceleration burst off of the back pedal is really, really damn good, right? He's got a little bit maybe of a straight linerness to him compared to Quinyon Mitchell, right? Not so much to where it's like Emmanuel Forbes from last year, right? But he's long, he's skinny, he's got narrow hips. He might not be quite as hippie as some of the other corners in this draft or whatever else, but it's not to where you go, oh, whoa, it's a problem. His hips are just not as good as, a guy like Quinyon Mitchell or somebody else, right? But like, that would be one area you'd go, oh, it could be a little bit better. But again, his speed and acceleration are so good that it's not one where you go, oh, okay, just because he's a little tight in the hips there, or he takes a few too many steps in transition, right? He thinks the guy's about to run a go route, and the guy puts the brakes on and runs the 15-yard out route or whatever. Does he have a few more steps than you would like? Yeah, sometimes he does, right? But all in all, the straight speed, the length, the ability to break on the ball, the ability to close on the ball even if he's beat and still make it competitive, whether he knocks it down or, hey, the guy catches it, but it's a bang-bang type of play, really is pretty damn elite when you get into it.
So one of the things I noted was, much like Mitchell, rarely looks bad. And so here's another guy, like you said, maybe not as clean or doesn't look as clean in doing it, but doesn't look flat out bad because he's got the speed to make up for his mistakes, and he's got the want to. And some of those plays that you mentioned stood out. The 80-yard run, I think it was by Miami, where he comes and strips the ball at the 1 yard line.
Insane.
It was cool. He did that a couple times.
One of the first plays I ever saw of him. Right. Yeah, he did. What was the other one? I can't even remember the other one.
I think it was the UNC game. Oh, UNC.
It
was Miami, and then he almost did the same thing. I think he scored, but it was just like he almost tried to rip the ball out right at the 1 yard line again.
Yeah, he's got next level, next gear type of speed.
So I got a question here from AddieM27. Hey, Simms, love the pod. Is it just me, or is Wiggins the only corner out of the consensus that plays man-to-man on a consistent down-to-down basis? Seems like a CB1 to me.
He definitely is a CB1. That's why I love Clemson, and they don't make it hard. They and they give you the context clues, like I talk about. Like, oh, it's a big down. What are they going to play? Oh, they trust their guy man to man on their best receiver. Okay, there he goes. So he does it. Yeah, he has that. Him and Quinyon Mitchell are definitely right up there with him. There's one other guy we're going to talk about here in a little bit too that plays a good amount of man to man. Maybe not to this degree, but yeah, he's CB1. Plays a ton of man. Can play off. Right, probably more comfortable playing bump though. That's where he's really good, right? And then he's still doesn't even use his hands to probably his capacity. That's another thing he'll learn in the NFL to give himself an advantage. But his ability, to turn and straight run is really good. Let's say you run a post and then a corner, right? it might not be perfectly greasy within the hips, but it's not bad. And then, like I said, he makes it up with having another gear and speed. But, a little like Quinyon Mitchell, too, is he can play the ball a little. This is another reason where, I made him number 2. Not only the speed and the length, right? Does a great job of, like, if you outside release, he's not going to let you by him, and he's going to get on top of you and then basically squash the route. But he does play the ball like a receiver a little bit himself, too. He's not looking to always go into the DB or the wide receiver and knock the ball out that way. And he's scary. He's not afraid to take a chance. Like Quinyon Mitchell, he plays off and he thinks he knows what you're about to throw. He puts the foot on the ground and then he just takes off and you go, whoa. Right? I mean, their ability to break on the ball on routes where, like you said, the quarterback goes, I think I got an easy one here. He's 7 yards off, and I'm running and throwing an underneath route. And these guys throw the ball, and it's like, whoa, you just got that in there, right? That's where he's damn special, too. But, yeah, you get to see him play man-to-man and be on that island, and he answers a lot of questions in that style of play.
So he's grown, too, it seems like. When he was at Clemson, he originally committed to LSU, switched over to Clemson his freshman year. Dabo said he had an immature year, missed some classes, doing stuff like that. But in 2022, or 2022 as some people say, as a sophomore, became the full-time starter, had a pick 6 in the ACC championship game then. Dabo said that he matured, got more focused, and so that translated onto the field too. His size, you already mentioned it one time here. That was the negative. Like, his bad plays are, I don't know that he's a willing participant in the run game situation sometimes.
He's got a little bit of that, right?
Comes in flying wildly, hoping to, bring him down, but doesn't really want to deliver a giant hit.
Wants you to trip over him as he flies in, and he's hoping he just takes your legs out.
So got a question here from Vishnu Treasurer. Says, Nate Wiggins' weight will be questioned, but we saw him match up against bigger receivers like Xavier Legette and hold his own. How much will his 185-pound frame, which is actually 173 at the combine, really affect his game at the next level?
Yeah, it's going to a little. Like, he's going to lose some bump and grind in plays, right? Like, T. Higgins going down the sideline and he's got to cover his Clemson alumni right there. Like little elbow shrugs and arm shrugs. Like, T. Higgins is going to win that physical battle. That's part of it.
Second percentile in weight.
But there's some dog in this kid.
Yeah.
That's he
for sure.
He will compete, right? And he's not a killer in the tackling game. But again, to me, where I evaluate that a little different. Quinyon Mitchell's ability to tackle is special for a corner. You don't see guys like him or Devin Witherspoon very often to where you're just like, wow, not only are they freaky athletic cover guys, they have no regard for their body, right? Yeah, this guy he'd rather tackle you on the side, run you down, or come in, like I said, and hope he takes your legs out. But is he going to square you up and be like, come on, tailback, bring it on. I'm going to square you up and take you on in the D gap, right?
Which is smart.
Right.
He probably should not do that.
He doesn't want to do that. And that's not what he's being drafted for. So he's being drafted for so he can cover Devontae Smith, who runs 4.3 down the sideline, and you can go, well, we feel comfortable because we have a guy running 4.2 down the sideline right there with him, and he's just as long and can jump with them and do all that stuff as well.
Do you want to hear what an anonymous
please do.
NFL source has to say from NFL.com? This is an NFL national scout.
Yeah.
He has better physical talent than Devin Witherspoon, but he doesn't have that same level of dog in him. That's probably the biggest difference right now. I think Wiggins is the better prospect, though.
Well, I know what he's saying there.
You wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far, but I think I know his point there, right? There's, again, when you talk about outside corner play, there's valued more in the NFL than the guys who are being paid the most at corner in football are not playing in the slot. They're outside having to play the freaks out there. So, there's value into that where Witherspoon is a little bit more of the nickel. And, I think, listen, Wiggins has Witherspoon was just pedal to the metal, needle on red all the time, right? Wiggins has a few plays where, you go, you shouldn't let that guy catch that route on you right there, right? Where he might be, I don't want to say lazy or just, a little lethargical or, just complacent at times. Maybe that to a degree, but not concerning. It wasn't like I was watching Stingley in that or anything like that, right? There's just a few plays where you're like, oh yeah, they threw a 10-yard out and damn, that guy can't shine your shoes. You shouldn't be letting him catch the ball that easily.
It's more of a commentary on Devin Witherspoon, really. I mean, it's like no one can go to that level of dogging him that he showed last year on tape. And
he's long, he flies, he knows how to play the game, he can play on an island, he's got ball skills, right? Doesn't know how to use his hands, he's raw degree in that department, right? But his makeup ability and his sixth gear is special. The ability to close on the receiver is special, right? And he can play zone. He's got instincts. He's not like, oh, I can just play man-to-man and I don't understand the game either. There is plenty of plays where I go, oh, they did a good job there. Ooh, he read number 2 and came off the guy outside and saw that and went and made a play on it. So there's a lot there to the player to really respect.
I think, in my humble opinion, those two guys stood out.
They stood out.
Wiggins and Mitchell.
Yo, homies, what's up? I know it's the offseason, but it's never the offseason on Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Me and Ahmed Fareed are going to be here for it all. We got free agency. We're going to break it all down. The draft, the rankings of positions. Of course, we're going to unpack it all. Hit subscribe, get to my free agency reactions, 2024 draft rankings, and more. Thanks again for watching. Peace out, homies. See you soon.